right, my brothers and sisters over at Patreon, shalom. Shalom, it's Pastor Dowell, Israel. Hey, we all know that the doctrine of straightway, and I'm just going to use that as terminology here, especially concerning building. I.e., we're going to go over why you want to build, how you should go about building, and things I've learned over the past, as well as some resources that I use for information. All right, why you want to build? Number one is because you and I, we're not privileged. We didn't grow up with a silver spoon in our mouth, and we just don't have the luxury of paying all these people out there what they want for a house. You see, most people don't know that when they go to buy a house, every single time that that house is bought and resold, the bank is making a hell of a lot of money off of it. Let's just say if you had a house out there that they're pricing that house at, let's say, $150,000. That means it costs them, in a roundabout figure, $75,000 to have it built. So suppose you had $150,000. If you purchase a house for $150,000, you got one house. The majority of that labor, half of that labor, or majority of that cost goes into labor, excuse me. So if you had $150,000, you could build two nice houses, providing that you had the wisdom, the knowledge, the comprehension, and understanding. Most people are afraid to get out and make mistakes, and that's the reason why people don't have homes. Now, it may take you 2-3 years just to build one home, providing that you have the resources, the time, the energy, the help, the effort, and the people to help you to get it done. But you know what? Isn't 2 or 3 years better than a 30-year mortgage in which you have to continually depend on the system to stay afloat, the economy to stay afloat? You have to continually to depend on it. The job is going to be there. Can't tell you how many times in the 2008 housing market crash, and how many people, doctors, lawyers, educators, home makers, the whole 9 yards, I don't care who it was, they went out, got these exorbitant mortgages, and sometime on ARMs rather than fixed rate. It don't make no difference. They lost their job that they assumed it was going to be there. And some people have paid upwards to 20 years in mortgage to live in that particular place, only to lose it into foreclosure because they no longer had that high-paying job that could actually pay the rent. If you do things the way that Pastor Dowell is telling you, and you build as you go, you don't have to worry about them coming and taking your home, because you know most of us can make enough money in a year to be able to pay the taxes to Caesar that Caesar requires. So that's just the wisdom behind it. That's like right now, I'm sitting in close to a 2,000 square foot home that I pretty much built with my own hands. And I had a few brethren to help and assist me, but I pretty much done, the heavy lifting and almost laid pretty much almost every single block to this building right here. But it sure is nice to be able to live in this place right here, and I don't have a mortgage. You see, that's the sole purpose of being a wise Israelite. Now, I don't mind telling you, when I first moved out here to Straightway, I had no building experience whatsoever at all. Many of you already know the story. But I did have a willing mind and a willing heart. And I also realize and know that I am intelligent enough to know how to read a book or books. And I also know how to go out and watch other people who know what they're doing, record it in my mind, and build. Today, you have a bunch of tools at your hands I've never had, which was the internet or YouTube. And so I learned a lot about trial and error. You can do the same thing. I'm no greater than anybody out here. So there's my two main reasons right there in itself: financial independence, and you don't have the money to go out there and pay all these people the exorbitant amount of labor. If you're going to be living on the community, what you want to do is you want to get a faithful brother. Everybody's not faithful, but you want to get a faithful brother. Somebody to learn electric and plumbing. Somebody to learn masonry and framing. And of course, and somebody to learn how to do foundation works. If you can actually get a couple of brothers to be experts in those areas, while you're assisting each other, you don't have to know everything. All you really need is just one person out there that knows pretty much how to do everything, or 2 or 3 people out there that know how to do everything in certain areas, or some things in certain areas, and you can actually build the home. You can build a home, a dining hall, or whatever. Now, here I am late. I never did expect for me to be 53 years old, late in this game right here, and still out there doing this heavy lifting as far as concrete blocks, masonry work, and all this heavy lifting. But it looks like it's still left up to me because there's just simply not too many brethren that are interested. And I know the reason why. Concrete, simply put it, hurts. Period. If it's something you don't do every single day and you haven't done it every single day, it hurts. If you notice, a lot of block masons and a lot of people that have done concrete work all their lives, by the time they get my age, they're finished. They just finished because they have not made any equipment. They have not made tools to teach people how to lay blocks. Now, do I prefer block buildings over a stick frame building or a 2x4? Absolutely, every single time. Number one, because of the tornado resistance. Number two, because of the strength. Number three is because of the small arm fires and how it's able to absorb. And you'll be able to, you don't have to worry about a bullet actually going through the house unless it's something seriously of a high caliber. Which if you did build a block building and it's above ground, and if you core fill it with sand and stuff, you only need a few inches of sand anyway to be able to stop, along with concrete, a small arms fire. So it's wonderful for self-defense. And it's just stronger, and it will last longer. It will last for generations to come, whereas houses, you give them 30, 40 years of constant maintenance. All homes are constantly maintenance anyway, especially if it have wood in it. But these concrete, these block homes, they will last for years and years and years to come. You can go in any major city and see masonry work that was done over 100 years ago is still there, still standing. And stick frame homes have just come and gone. If you notice, a lot of corporations now are building homes. They still stick frame, but they're using a lot of masonry or stucco on the outside of it in order to try to get some longevity out of the buildings, because it's just simply becoming increasingly way too much to build. So I would, especially when I start calling for people, that we don't need everybody, but just a few people to come so you can learn how to actually do masonry work. Now, I got a couple of books right here because, and these books right here, like for instance, this one right here, Foundations and Concrete Work. It's an excellent book. But see, you have to understand, buying this book and having it and then putting it on the shelf is not going to teach you how to build. The sole purpose of classroom, the sole purpose of actually studying this book is so that you can get the concepts, get it all in your mind, because there are many dynamics when you're out building that you are literally going to face out there. And when you face these things, you're going to be like, oh, okay, something's going to spark in your memory that you've already done put in your mind based on your own study. Because in these books, it gives you the tools that you need to be able to do this. It gives you the concept, but it doesn't give you the practical application, because you will make mistakes. You will do it. But buying the books and putting them on your shelf and not putting it in here is not going to do you a lick of good. Another one is when you're planning on building a home, this one right here gives you an idea of home designs. You can actually draw up your own design of whatever you are wanting to build. The visual handbook of building, handbook for building and remodeling, this is a good book too. Now I would tell you that these books right here, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. They cost a little bit of money. But yet again, I tell you, Israel, over and over again, you need the wisdom, knowledge, information, and the experience. You need to learn how to read a tape measure in order to get started. We're going to be doing some building here soon. And we're looking forward to seeing some of you at this year's building sites, because I'm trying to do my best to limit all this running around and doing meetings. Because we have enough people that find out about the ministry, that come to the ministry, where I really truly don't need to get out there and just do any meetings, because I mean, it is what it is. For every 100 some people show up to the meeting, we may get 5 people that join the ministry and are serious minded, which is fine with me. That's good. But I'm trying to get a lot of closure on things, because PastorDowell's not getting any younger. I'm actually getting older. And that's the sole purpose of me actually doing a lot of exercise and working out in the dead season, so I can have my body physically ready for the heavy workload that I have coming up this year. So don't be faint in heart. Get your mind made up. And once your mind is made up, the body will go. Never quit, never give up. See the vision, because without it, people perish. Get behind it, get with it, and then later on, you'll be able to thank the Most High, and then those who He set in front of you. As the time went by, that you actually made the right choice and decision to go ahead and sacrifice now and work really hard when you were young so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor and then your descendants after you in the years to come. Shalom. Have a good day.